And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we're getting set for the running of the Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube, our 25th race of the season. More importantly, race 2 of the round of 12 for the PCSRA Foster Series as we're getting set for tonight's race here under the lights from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It should be a good 54 laps here today. On the pole is the driver who just recently got eliminated from the playoffs, Nathan Norman. He's just trying to find victory lane for the second time this season, trying to put an end to what has been a very good season after getting eliminated in the first round. That's Heather Gallant alongside of Ormy. Gallant is 20th in points. All she's just trying to do is find victory lane in that regard. Row 2, as I'm going to go ahead and save it, I'll have the grid over here, the right side of your screen. I think that is Paul Minnick in the 16. And yes, I am correct. It is Paul Minnick in the 16. There's the starting grid over there. Paul Minnick comes into this race just trying to find victory lane. He's 25th in points, still hasn't found the top 5. And Carla Snott, who won it just a few weeks ago, she comes in this race 33rd in the points. There's a look at the point standings coming into this race. We are just going to focus on these 36 drivers for the rest of the playoffs. So we want to thank the non-charter people for signing up. The starting grid, like I mentioned, you've already seen. And now let's go over the playoff points presented by Golden Corral. Emmanuel Hartnett, who picked up his second win of the season, is 30 points ahead of Nick Voiles. 35 points ahead of Caleb Hobbs. He's third. Jesse Art, 51 points back. In fourth, Sam Davis is fifth. David Heller, sixth. CJ Bracken and Quentin Moore. David is 70 points behind Emmanuel Hartnett. Bracken and Q-Man are 73 and 76 points, respectively. Sean Art is 91 points back. As I apologize for Blue Junior yelling. He shouldn't. As I was saying, Sean Art, 91 points back. Cody Smart, 94 back. Jackie Tang, 97 points back. And Noah Platts was 185 points back. Noah Platts needs a good run. Did not even take the green last week. Comes in this race 109 points below the cut line. Needs a good run today, or he will find himself heading into Memphis next week in a must-win situation. Here we go. Race number 25 of the season at Las Vegas is green. Let's go racing, drivers. Sorry about that yelling. It really just made my ears. Probably one of my roommates should have been a little bit more careful on that. But anyway, Nathan Norman now leads. Where did the highest starting playoff driver? Probably it was Sam Davis. Yeah, there's Sam Davis. He's the highest of the playoff drivers. Sam Davis comes into this race 12 points above the cut line. Cody Smart comes in this race 18 points below the cut line. As Ormy is already scampering away. If this was one of the races in the round of 12, or round of 16 rather, Ormy would have been in the next round of the playoffs, but Ormy's just trying to find as many trips to victory lane as he can as Cody Smart and Jared Underhill. Cody Smart, 18 points below the cut line. He is right now the highest playoff driver, bringing his teammate Jared Underhill up here at the front with him. Jared Underhill comes into this race 22nd in the points, so it's not been a good season for Jared, but he's just trying to find victory lane for the first time of his career. So is Jalecia Kuzman, who's been good. Oh, Cody's up high. Oh, Cody got the wall. That was close. And looky there, that's Shane Lake in the 3 car in the Bass Pro colors. Shane Lake is 13th in the, 13th in points. Shane Lake was eliminated a couple of weeks ago at Ricky. Chase Brooks in the 15. Chase just trying to end his season. He's 29th in points. He's not scored a top 5 this season. Of course, he's in the Mobile 1 colors this week. See who's at the back of the field here. Quentin Moore, who comes in this race in that critical 8th position in the points, is back here at the rear of the field. So is playoff contender Caleb Hobbs, who's 3rd in points. Sean Art's back here. This is not what Sean Art needs. Sean came into this race 15 points below the cut line, which is Quentin Moore. That's Jessica Shelton in the 9 in the Universe colors this week. Emmanuel Hartnett. Good news for Hartnett. He's worried-free going into this race and next week's race.
Nobody but you. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Schmari. You keep doing that all the time, and you keep saying sorry. You don't do it, dumbass. Sorry about that, y'all. I just yelled at Mario because he is a dumbass with a capital B.
It's D.
You get my point. Jackie Tang back here. Jackie Tang came in this race 21 points below the cut lines. They're 3 wide there. That's the driver you need to keep an eye on, which is Noah Platts. Noah Platts 109 points below the cut line after, finishing last at Toronto. So Platts needs a good run tonight, or he'll find himself going into next week's race at Memphis in a must-win situation. Zachary Fitzwater side-by-side with Nick Voiles. Nick Voiles, by the way, is the driver who comes in this race 61 points above the cut line. Heather Gallant. There's Shane Lake, who's just trying to find victory lane as many times as he can. Back up front with Nathan Orman. Of course, Ormy is, like it said, 16th in points. He just got eliminated from the playoffs. Of course, Ormy, as of this recording, announced he got a job application at McDonald's. I wonder if that means Nathan Orman's trying to get a sponsorship from McDonald's. Who knows? Wouldn't that be cool for the kid out of California? And I know Ormy was sad he got eliminated, but, as I said, he's happy he made the playoffs. I mean, same with this guy, Kyle Langland. Shane Lake, and of course another driver who was also recently eliminated from the playoffs. There he is right there in the chocolates and silver car. That's Zachary Taylor. Zachary Taylor's another driver who just got eliminated from the playoffs after the first round. Of course, Ormy's had, like I said, ever since Ormy got eliminated, he's had a bad playoffs, Nathan Orman. Got himself in a deep hole to start the playoffs, could not even recover, and despite finishing 24th, it was not enough for Nathan Orman to advance. I think he had to win after the poor finishes he had as I now lost my train of thought what I was trying to say. Let me pull up the schedule. And it was Kentucky, he didn't do good. Hillside, he wrecked out with Taylor. Of course, he stayed out of trouble at Ricky, but didn't do himself any favors. And unfortunately, that's why he got eliminated. You gotta have good momentum going into the playoffs. Because like I said, one bad race, you're in recovery mode like Noah Platts is. 2 bad races, you're definitely going to be in a must-win situation. And there's Noah Platts, who, as I said, came in this race 109 points below the cut line. Sam Davis right there battling Zachary Taylor. So I forgot to pull up the ticker. Sorry about that. Right now, Sam Davis is the highest playoff contender. Find out where the rest of our playoff contenders are at. Sam Davis is 9th, but he's going to start dropping back. Not too far behind is Jesse Art in the 1. 11th, 12th, 13th for Jesse Art, Noah Platts, and Nick Voiles. Should pull this up. We should probably check the ticker, see if anything else updated. Now, Jesse Art is the highest of the playoff contenders. As we go back to Ormy. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. David 17th. Let's see, where is baby CJ? He's all the way back in 30th. Uh-oh, that's not good for CJ. Caleb Hobbs 24th. Now David's back to 23rd. Sean's 24th. CJ's back in 29th. This is not what CJ needed. Jackie Tang's back there at the rear of the field. Cody Smart 32nd. Emmanuel Hartnett 31st. Well, the good news for Emmanuel Hartnett, he can ill afford a bad finish. Jackie Tang, on the other hand, he cannot ill afford a bad finish tonight. Because Jackie Tang, as I mentioned, came in this race 21 points below the cut line. Where did he finish back at Toronto last week? Let me look. Jackie Tang finished 25th, so this is not what Jackie Tang needed. Jackie Tang could be going into next week's race basically in a must-win situation. So that's not good. And could we end up having another JGR driver get eliminated from the playoffs? Wouldn't that be a shocker? Of course, Zachary Taylor got eliminated, and of course, he's running 9th. And Ormy said, he's never going to win again. Well, at the rate he's going, he's doing pretty good so far. Checking back here. Yep, Jackie Tang's back here at the rear of the field. I'm a little concerned about Jackie Tang going into next week, knowing he's going to have to win next week. Caleb Hobbs, I'd be concerned about him too. Hobbsy came in this race 56 points above the cut line. Baby CJ came in this race 4 points above the cut line. And Quentin Moore is ahead of him, so that means CJ Brackett could find himself in a pickle heading into next week. Same with Cody Smart. But at least a good thing for Emmanuel Hartnett, he'll be the points leader when we have the reformatted points here heading into next week. And this is a good run for Sean Art, who comes into this race 15 points below the cut line. He's definitely ahead of drivers like, let me see, who's he ahead of? He's ahead of baby CJ. Quentin Moore is pushing him. Where is David Heller running? David Gene Heller. He's also ahead of David. So this could put Sean from below the cut line to above the cut line real quick. As long as he can stay out of trouble. As we're going to go back to Nathan Orman, who has not had a challenge for the lead until Heather Gallant said otherwise. Heather Gallant running the net spin colors on her Richard Childress number 8. Of course, remember, you have 12 drivers battling for the championship. You have another 24 drivers who are trying to find victory lane. And Ormy's going to lose the lead. Heather Gallant's going to take the lead, but for how long? As Paul Mennick in the 16 car. Neither Gallant or Minnick have been to victory lane, or in Minnick's case, he has yet to have a top 5 this season. As we're getting closer and closer to the halfway point of tonight's race here at Las Vegas. Now, the new leader is going to be the 8 of Heather Gallant. And not for long. Here comes Ormy going to retake the lead. Of course, we're running the interesting version of Las Vegas. Of course, it's got a lot of banking. The track has been smooth. It has a lot more grip. And, of course, we're at night, so these cars are handling pretty good so far. So far, we have not had a yellow so far, as we're halfway through tonight's race. Caleb Hobbs not doing his hopes any favors. Neither is Jackie Tang. Cody Smart's going to be in big trouble if he doesn't start moving his way to the front. Right now, I think the only driver who's going to be okay is Emmanuel Hartnett. Noah Platts, this is going to be 2 bad races in a row. I'm starting to wonder if Noah Platts is going to find himself heading into next week's race in a must-win situation. Because Noah Platts, when I did the points, he didn't even score points last week at Toronto. So Noah Platts was already behind the 8 ball. And what's crazy is that Platts was leading the points going into All-Star break, and now he's going to find himself in a big situation. Oh, Nick Voiles and Zachary Taylor are not playing nice with each other. That could have been a wreck right there. That could end up having some playoff contenders. Of course, Nick Voiles is still in the championship. Zachary Taylor is not, however. Starting to wonder if these tires are starting to go away. Of course, yes, this track was repaved, but you know, nothing you can do about it. But I'm starting to wonder if these tires are starting to go away. Let me pull up the playoff standings back up here. Right now, Sam Davis, who, as I mentioned, came to this race 12 points ahead of the cut line, he would be in would be in a good situation to possibly advance into the next round, depending if he can get a good run next week when we go short track racing at Memphis. Excuse me. Sorry for belching. I know somebody will be saying nice motivational belch, Danny, or nice singing voice in the words of Senor Sean. Speaking of Sean, of course, he's 19th right now. Of course, as I mentioned, he came as race 15 points below the cut line. He's only 5 spots ahead of Quentin Moore. But Quentin Moore is ahead of drivers like CJ Bracken. Of course, he's already ahead of Caleb Hobbs. Ooh, Caleb could be in a very interesting situation heading into next week. CJ needs to start picking up some positions real quickly because, you know, the last thing CJ Bracken needs to be is below the cut line and be in a very interesting situation heading into next week at Memphis. So we're back up with Nathan Orman. I believe he has led the most laps. So Nathan Orman is now on the chopping block as far as the U Blewett is concerned. Nathan Orman in the Liberty University colors. Came in this season with high hopes. Got a win at Lime Rock Park, made it into the playoffs, sadly got eliminated. Trying to find victory lane for the second time this season so he can be a 2-time winner. And also Nathan Norman trying to make it 2 years in a row. He'll be in the All-Star race if he wins tonight. There's Heather Gallant in the 8, just trying to find victory lane. She did not make the playoffs. Her husband did, which was Shane Lake. Sadly, Shane was eliminated after the round of 16, which meant RCR will not win the Owners' Championship. There's Kyle Langland. Great run for Kyle after he got eliminated last week. He moved himself up to 14th in the points. Kyle's had a great day. There's Carla Sanat in 6th. Sam Davis is 7th. Got a gaggle here with Shane Lake in 8th. 9th was Cody McGorvick, and 10th is Chase Brooks. I thought I saw a car just coming off pit road just a second ago, or am I just seeing things? I think I'm just seeing things. Jesse Arch dropping back. Sean Art's going to pass Jesse, his little sister. And to my surprise, we have not had a caution yet. Ali Liera not having a good run tonight. Nathan Orman currently leading with 14 laps to go here tonight at Las Vegas. So next week we conclude the round of 12 with our second elimination race at Memphis. It will be a 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time green flag from Memphis Motorsports Park as Gallant's going to take the lead. When the checker flag waves, 4 drivers are going to get eliminated from the championship as we will go from 12 to the Elite 8. That was not the schedule I want, you derping computer. Then the following week, we begin the first race of the round of 8. We're going to go to Kansas. A 1.5-mile track as Ormy's retaking the lead. Of course, the 8 and the 24 are just trading the lead. They almost have a second lead on third place Paul Minnick. The last thing Nathan Orman does not want to see is a caution, because that could really make things interesting. So as I was saying, as I was going through the calendar, Kansas, the first race of the round of 8. Then we go to Phoenix, and then our final elimination race at Atlanta before we have championship weekend from the Homestead Miami Speedway to conclude the 2023 season. Bless you. Or excuse you on the coughing. And it looks like to me the 21 is going to be in a very big must-win situation next week. 10 to go. Cannot believe we have not had an incident. So these 36 drivers are just having a calm collective race. A far cry to what we had last week, where we had a wreck fest at Toronto. And Nathan Orman's probably saying to himself going into this week, well, this is a nice change of pace compared to last week. You know, everybody was wrecking left and right. And we had a lot of torn up cars, well, with the exception of the 21 who didn't even take the green. And I think Sean's going to be ahead of the cut line. Because as I mentioned, Sean came in this race, as I said, 15 points below the cut line. And, you know, with drivers he's ahead, which is Caleb Hobbs, Emmanuel Hartnett. Well, Emmanuel Hartnett won't make a difference on Emmanuel Hartnett because he's already moved on to the next round. Of course, Sean is ahead of his sister. He's also ahead of David and Cody. So Sean could find himself out of the danger zone and into the safe zone. So he'll be in an interesting spot heading into our second elimination race next week. And I've also noticed that the only girl who is in the playoffs is Jesse Art, believe it or not. Oh, man. Jesse Art going against 15 guys. Oh, boy. That was fun 4 weeks ago. And what's really weird is Jesse Art was the only female driver who had to win inside the top 30 in points. Keep that in mind. Oh, did the 8 pit? The 8 is pitting. Oh, what a tough break for the 8. And Nathan Orman's got a big lead. I don't think these drivers were scheduled to come to pit road. Oh, looks like they were. Fuel mileage. Oh, boy. This got interesting real quickly. I mean, these drivers had enough fuel to make it 54 laps. Apparently, they can't. Ormy's on pit road. Oh, boy, this changed the complexion of the race. This I was not expecting, to be honest with you. I don't think I expected green flag pit stops. I thought everybody had enough tires and fuel to make it 54 laps, which they did. But apparently, tires are going to be a thing, and looks like the 16's coming to pit road. Got to make sure you get it to 45 miles an hour. See if Ormy's already beaten the 8. Oh boy, pit strategy just made this race very interesting. And Ormy is going to be ahead. Ormy nailed that pit stop pretty darn good. I was not expecting green flag pit stops for this race. Zachary Taylor's running in second. And I think he's leading, if I'm not mistaken, unless he has not come to pit. Okay, now he's coming to pit road. I was going to say, has he come to pit road? Looks like that didn't answer. Minnick is there. Where's Ormy? Ticker has not updated who's leading. And we're going to find it. Yep, Ormy's leading. Boy, I was not expecting pit stops to play a thing. Even though these drivers had enough fuel, I was starting to wonder if tires were an issue. If that was the case, then that probably could understand why they had to come to pit road. As we're coming to the white flag for Nathan Orman. This will be Orman's second win of the season and a guaranteed spot into next year's All-Star race, which I know he'll be back in that 24 next year. And Ormy's going to go from the pole to the win. How about that? Nathan Orman comes off turn 4. He led the most laps. He's going to win. He's off the chopping block. And Nathan Orman steals one at Las Vegas. What a relief Nathan Orman's had. It sucks this win will not get him into the next round of the championship, but hey, he'll definitely take a win at Las Vegas. I mean, he went from coast to coast, from pole to the win. And this will be good momentum for Nathan Orman heading into the next race. Heading in for the rest of the season, this is good momentum going into next year. Standings are now official. This is race 25. So Nathan, yellow's out, but it doesn't matter. The race is over. Nathan Orman dominates and wins tonight here at Las Vegas. Heather Gallant, so close, but a nice second place result for her. Came into this race 20th in points, so good little spot moving up. How about Paul Minnick? His first top 5 after a struggling season, 25th in points. His first top 5. Jalecia Kiesman is leading the point standings of the 9 of the drivers who did not make the playoffs. 4th for her, Kyle Langland 5th. Couple of good runs for Nathan Orman, Kyle Langland, 2 drivers who got eliminated from the playoffs. Carla Sinat got 6th, 33rd in points, going to move herself through the point standings. CJ Bracken is the highest playoff driver in 7th. CJ came into this race, pulling up my deal, 4 points above the cut line, so CJ is going to be in a good spot heading into next week. Nick Voiles, I think that might have just guaranteed Nick Voiles, pending if he has trouble next week at Memphis. He's in a good spot going in there. He finished 8th. Bradley Ream 9th. Bradley Ream 35th in points. He's going to move himself up. And Cody Smart, who really needed a good run, came in this race 18 points below the cut line. This is going to get him out of the danger zone, put him in an interesting situation heading into next week. So I counted 1, 2, 3 playoff drivers inside the top 10. Bracken, Smart, and Voiles. Where did the other 9 finish? Quentin Moore, 14th. He was the driver above the cut line. The good news for him, he finished ahead of drivers who struggled tonight. Let's see. Jessie came home 18th. She was 25 above the cut line. We'll see where this is going to situate her. Sean Art was 20th. Sean didn't finish ahead of Q-Man, but he did finish ahead of other playoff contenders like David Hellard, who finished 21st. Caleb Hobbs, 24th. Boy, this is going to put Hobbsy in an interesting situation. Manuel Harton at 26. Thankfully, he's in the next round with his win, so he definitely can ill afford a bad finish as you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. This is where the question marks is going to be here. Noah Platt's 31st. Ooh, 2 bad races in a row. I'm starting to wonder. Noah Platts is no doubt going to go into next week's race definitely in a must-win situation. Finished dead last week. Finished 31st this week. Yeah, definitely Noah Platts is going to be in a must-win next week. And then Sam Davis, 34th. He came in this race 12 points above the cut line. He's going to probably be in the danger zone heading into next week. So Sean did finish ahead of David, Sam Davis. Didn't finish ahead of Quentin Moore. We'll see where this is going to situate Sean and his little sister, as far as that is concerned, heading into next week at Memphis. But no doubt Noah Platts will be in a must-win situation. Jackie Tang, 23rd. We'll see where this is going to situate Jackie Tang heading into next week at Memphis. So next week is our second elimination race. And sadly, 4 drivers after next week's race at Memphis will join Nathan Orman, Shane Lake, Kyle Langland, and Zachary Taylor that have been eliminated from the championship, as they will be eliminated from the title contention, leaving us with the Elite 8 to come the following week at Kansas. So hope you'll tune in for that. Thank you all for joining us for tonight's race. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown your full finisher results. You'll see your updated rookie points, your overall points, and your updated playoff standings heading into next week at Memphis Motorsports Park. Until then, I've been Daniel Volo signing off. Thanks for joining me for tonight's race as you've been watching another broadcast of PCSRA TV, celebrating 13 years of existence, the best NR racing around the world since 2017. Good night from Las Vegas Motor Speedway.